Oh my. That fairy tale episode was on point. Such an on point episode. That Ignil death is so on point. Oh my god. See, I just finished watching it, and when I saw that scene, I'm like, way better than the manga. Like, leaps and bounds above that manga chapter. I mean, the chapter was sad, but when you see this episode, and you saw Ignil's death, and you saw the flashbacks, and the voice acting to it, oh my god, that was great. That was a really good execution on A1's part for this episode, when it came to the emotions it should bring you if you are an anime only. Even me as a manga reader, it actually got me to have some emotions, because seeing the way Ignil died, and you saw the flashbacks with how Natsu was raised by him and thought of him as a father, and you just see these different scenes, one after another, with Natsu learning how to use his, Roar the Fire Dragon, and then also how he, used to sleep by his father, and just different things like that. It was such a sad moment in this episode, but it was beautiful. It was such a beautiful executed scene by A1 Pictures, and I cannot compliment them enough for that. So for that scene alone, it makes up for anything that was wrong with this episode, which there is a little bit wrong with this episode, so let me actually get into that. About 60% of the episode, or 50, let's just say 50. About 50% of the episode is a little bit of the same exact thing we already knew was going on. It was kind of dragged out. For instance, the dragons taking down Face. We already knew Face was pretty much taken down in the last week's episode because of the dragons coming in, wrecking house, and destroying all the Face statues. We already knew that was happening. And about 50 to maybe 60% of the episode was spent focusing on these exact same scenes we kind of already knew about, and it felt like it was just trying to drag out the overall event throughout this entire episode. So there really wasn't that much story progression if you think about it like that. But the second half of the episode completely destroys the lesser parts of this episode, because the second half was beautiful when it came to the scenes with Zeref popping up, and you see him having a conversation with Natsu and Gray, and when you see Mardgear, oh my god, let's just talk about Mardgear real quick. Mardgear, as we've seen throughout this entire arc, he's very fucking powerful, and I mean, this dude was, sitting in a chair fighting with one hand. I've talked about this a lot. This guy, he's on the ground, he's still technically alive and fine. Zeref comes in, and he just snaps his fucking fingers, and Mardgear is done. He's just fucking gone. So, Zeref is scary as shit, and the way he came in, that was an epic introduction to just Zeref walking into this fucking arc, and then also seeing how the reaction to him was from Natsu and Gray, and then all of a sudden he just walks off. He's like, I was gonna settle this fight once and for all, but since Artnologia is here, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna walk off, and he just starts, walking off, and then the fight continues between Ignil and Artnologia. So, overall, the episode just blew me away. It really blew me away with the way the second half of it was done. And like I said, it destroyed the lesser parts of this episode. Now, talking about Ignil's death, this is something that was very controversial when the manga chapter came out. I remember there was mixed viewpoints on this. For one viewpoint was, for Ignil, this character that I guess you can say was just introduced, to be killed like this, it feels a little bit kind of anticlimactic. And then there was others saying Ignil being, killed off like this was very sad and tragic, because we knew about Ignil for a long time. And on both sides, I actually fall on the side that it feels rather tragic, because if you think about it, Ignil has been around in the series since, like, the first fucking episode, or first chapter. I mean, he's been introduced, Natsu's been trying to find his father, and that's kind of what the main plot, like, the ongoing plot has been about. Like, where's his father, where's the dragons? And then now seeing his father finally here, and then dying in front of him, such a tragic way to go. It was a really tragic way to go for Ignil, and that final scene where you see Natsu just scream out, he's like, Ignil! And then you just see the sunset and episode rolls to the credits. Beautiful. So yeah, Fairy Tail. One of the best episodes, I think, of this year. Definitely one of the best. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.